like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Hello, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. The water wars are heating up. How's the media doing? What's the media coverage on the water wars? The Fresno Bee, all the TV and radio stations. We'll talk about it here on Connect with Me this morning on the showroom floor, 436 MeTV, option 11. Call in, but do turn down the sound. It is on the air, off the presses today, and we're going to talk about the media coverage regarding and surrounding these water wars. It's Doug Vagim versus City Hall, Mark Standriff and the mayor and all that. But first, I want to know, who do I congratulate today? Because today marks, this day in history, 150 years ago, Yosemite all began. That's right, Yosemite is 150 years old today. So happy birthday and congratulations to whoever I'm supposed to be congratulating out there. I don't know. It's 150 years old today. Also, the U.S. Supreme Court this morning, I want to touch on this just a little bit because two major decisions came down from Washington, D.C. The High Court today in a 5-4 decision said that some government employees do not have to pay any union dues to those unions who represent them. That's a big, big decision made by the U.S. Supreme Court. And then earlier they had another 5-4 decision that said family-owned businesses who are Christian or depending on their religious beliefs do not have to pay for health insurance for contraception under Obamacare. That was a 5-4 decision, so you're going to see a lot of controversy coming out of these two decisions from the High Court later today and in the coming days and weeks, I am sure. The water wars here in the Central Valley certainly heating up, no question. Doug Vagim is fighting City Hall tooth and nail. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first, the financial health of the city and the state of the city. Mayor Swearingen said that we are financially solvent at this point. We have nothing to worry about because the budget for the next coming year, the fiscal year, is over $1 billion with a B dollars. Here's what she had to say at the convention center just a week ago or so at the State of the City.
But I am serious about the fact that we've seen a marked change in the word on the street about the city of Fresno around the state. As I've been traveling throughout California, the drumbeat of Fresno's accomplishments is growing louder and louder. And our city is being widely viewed as a turnaround city that has survived tough times and is on the road to recovery. I just returned from the annual U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting in Dallas, where hundreds of my peers gathered to discuss problem after problem that have a stranglehold over our nation's cities. Well, I can assure you, after spending time with my peers, that every city has its challenges. Some are more daunting and dangerous than others, and Fresno is no exception. However, I can tell you with full confidence that Fresno is leading the nation in solutions and in efforts to address the long-standing challenges we face in our community. My fellow Fresnans, I am pleased to report to you today that the state of our city is sound, our finances are stable, and our future is bright.
So the mayor of Fresno is fighting this man. Live in our studio is Doug Vagim, or is it the other way around? He's fighting her or City Hall to try and keep your water rates down. I want to talk about the media coverage regarding all of this, and we're going to talk about that with you, the phone callers, and the viewers. 436 MeTV option 11. Do call in. Do turn down the sound today on Connect with Me on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. We're back with our program in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
And we're back here live on the show, and connect with me on Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. We talked about the water wars heating up, and there's a big deadline coming up. Doug Vagim is here. Hi, Doug. Good morning. How are you?
John, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning.
Hey, so what's this deadline coming up on the water wars before I get into the media coverage of this whole thing?
Well, we've turned in our signatures. The city clerk has reviewed them as a count that we have sufficient to move over to the actual verification of each signature. That's over at the county right now, and they're going through them. And we hope within a few days we'll know that we have enough, and then it'll be up to the city to move this to an agenda, and then the council will have two choices, either repeal or put it on a ballot. They can take another choice and ask for a 30-day study, which will kill our chances to be on the November ballot because of their 16 weeks they robbed from us from the lawsuits. So
they can keep you, let me understand, whoa, slow down. So let me understand this. Mm-hmm. How can they keep you off the November ballot at this point?
By asking for a study, which is within the law. They could have done this from day one, but they've left it to their option to...
Well, you know they're going to do that.
I hope not, because Davis...
Why wouldn't they?
The city of Davis had the same choice back in June, prior to the June election, and they decided not to do a study. They just put it on the ballot, so let's let the people decide. I'm asking the city of Fresno to do the same thing.
But you know the city has fought you tooth and nail on this. Why would they comply now and say, oh, okay, let's just put this thing on the ballot and see what happens with the voters? If they've fought you tooth and nail up to this point, they're going to throw up every roadblock, aren't they?
Well, they have so far, but I want to point out there's more people that have signed this petition than voted for any one of the city councilmen sitting up there. So the people of this community have spoken. They're anxious. It represents a fraction of those people who are very, very interested in having us on the ballot, believe me. And I hope that if they do a study, they could expedite it. They could bring it back in the next council meeting. They don't need to have the full 30 days. But there'll be a push down there to do that dithering. And we hope not, because that'll put us over to 2016. It'll be on a ballot, John. It'll be on a ballot. So we're encouraged that the city will do the right thing, and we'll get enough city council members, and the mayor won't veto, or we'll have 5 council members and override the vote.
Got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me, and your question for Doug. Hey, caller, you're on the air. Turn your sound down. Caller, you're on the air.
Wondering,
okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead and cut it off. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I don't mean to be rude, but if you call into the show, you have to turn down the sound on your TV set so you can hear me on the phone say that you're on the air. Didn't mean to be rude, but this is a half-hour show, and we got to move right along. So, Doug, when's that deadline?
They come back on July 17. The council does. We hope there was something on their agenda in July 17, because the council will be done.
Right.
The clerk will have the opportunity, the city clerk will have the ample opportunity to file a certificate of sufficiency, which means we've met all the grade.
Right.
The bylaw, when she files that, the very next council meeting is an agenda item of what options they have. 2 options, or repeal or send it to a ballot.
How many signatures do you have right now?
We turned in 6,379, which is 135% more than we needed.
You needed roughly
4829.
4829. So you turned in one, and there are going to be some rejects. You know that.
Well, of course,
there always is.
They say if you turn in 130, 135%, you have a cushion. That's 1,400 cushion.
Yeah.
So, but we've walked through that list, John, several times, believe me, to make sure that we knew that people were valid. What we don't know is if someone signed and used a phonied up signature or something. We don't know that. And but I'm confident that that does not happen unless there was a deliberate drill to go out there and just come and phony up somebody who
That's my next question. How do you know that the opposition didn't fill those with a bunch of phony names?
It could happen, and I don't know about phony names. Of course, that's illegal as all heck. But the fact that shenanigans can happen in this process, it's ripe for it. But that's what the validation check's all about, and that's politics. Well, we'll see what happens.
When will you know if the signatures are valid?
Their county is going through them right now, and they're pretty lickety-split folks. And they
this week?
I hope she gets it out before the 4th.
That's Brandy Orth, right?
Brandy Orth, and they're very, very good down there.
Very efficient.
And they're right off of an election in which they've just been through war, and they're pretty sharp, and their fingers are ready, and they know this stuff for cold, so they'll go through the
Do you have a representative down there eyeballing everything?
The way it works in this case is that you don't have the ability to oversee that until after the fact. So if they find insufficiency, then we can go review everything. But if they find sufficiency, you have a party, you don't want to review anything anyway. So,
all right, if you do want to call in and ask Doug a question, let me reiterate this. 436 MeTV, option 11. However, if you do call in, please turn down the sound on your television set before you call in, because otherwise what ends up happening is there's a little bit of a delay at your house, and now you're sitting there waiting for me to answer. You're listening to your TV, and we don't want you to do that. We want you to listen on the phone. So turn down the sound, call in. Hey, your water rates may go up. What in the world are you getting from the media? The the radio stations, the TV stations. What are you listening to? What are you reading? We're back with our guest, Doug Vagim, in just a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Back here with Doug Vagim. Your water rates may or may not go up. I don't know. It depends on what happens with this election cycle here, whether or not this thing gets on the ballot. Doug Vagim's been fighting this tooth and nail from the very beginning. So what are we getting out of the media? The radio stations. I know you're on Bill Manders on a regular basis. You have been on KMJ. What are you getting from the other TV stations? Are they fair and balanced, or how do you size them up, Doug?
Well, I think the media has been fair and balanced, but there has been a push by the city lately. They brought in a spokesperson in place of the mayor.
Mark Standrift.
Yeah, and
we actually have a picture of Mark Standrift, don't we?
I don't know. I don't have it on me. But he's a nice enough fellow, but he's charged, instead of doing the public relations for the city as a whole, he's been charged to trail us around like the alligator and Captain Hook. And
is that what he's doing?
Yes. And that's fine. That's fair. That's politics. You know, in politics, there's no rules. They're just errors. And we're hoping that...
so he's more than just a spokesperson?
I believe he's become an advocate for not the public at large, but and an information. He's become a person who has essentially carrying the water for the mayor. And in the place of the mayor, and I'm asking right now, where's the mayor? Why shouldn't the mayor come here and speak to you directly and to her constituents, or confront us as the individuals who are against this particular policy that she has of raising and doubling the debt on the individual household? I think we have a fundamental right to do what we're doing, but they've been blockading us with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of lawsuits, taking 16 weeks out of our schedule to be able to get these signatures so we could have turned them in and be on the November ballot without question. Now it's going to come back to their lap, and they're going to say, well, do we do a study or not? And I'm hoping we get 5 votes to don't do the study. It's done. We proved ourselves. There's sufficient people out there who are interested. Get it on the ballot for the quick. Get it out of the way. Get it on the November ballot and get it out of the way.
But I want to get back to the media just for a minute. So who has gotten the message out more efficiently at this point? Would it be Doug Vagim or City Hall?
Well, I think the media, like yourself and others, Mr. Manders and Daniels and Brodsky and Miss Lip over at the KMJ have done, I think, a good job of bringing us on and bringing us to the public, okay, as much as they can, because you guys have a very big plate and a lot of subject matter to cover. We're one small little teeny drop of water. We understand that. But we're moving through the process as deliberately and as well as any group could, without a lot of finances, without a lot of corporate or union or anything. We're just a group of citizens,
Are
John.
you getting your fair shake in the media, do you think?
Well, I mean, I'm concerned, for example, Davis, California, city of Davis, had a similar measure just like this up in Davis, and they had their issue on the June ballot. Davis, California, double our per capita income, a progressive community with a liberal thought, a lot of smart people from out of the university and working and teaching, etc. Yeah. They repealed their water rates, John. They went out and got signatures and repealed their water rates. What did their city council do? They disagreed with repealing the water rates because they put them on, but they didn't lawsuit them. They didn't fight them. They didn't instruct them. And when it came to the same fork in the road, do we do a study or do we just get this out of the way? They chose to get it out of the way because we understand the impacts already. We don't need to do another study. I'm fearful that that's where we're heading, and I'm asking all the public, call your city council, ask them to get this on the November ballot.
Who do they call? What's the number if they want to fight this, or if they want to voice their opinion to the mayor, if they want to voice their opinion to City Hall?
Well, I think 621-8000 will get you to the general switchboard to get you to anywhere in City Hall you want to go. Your city council member, look them up in your phone book and you can find them. Or look them up, go to the website and look up what district you're in, either at the city or the county website, and call them and ask them. Tell them, look, you have a right.
Harass them, right?
Well, I don't want to. I respect everybody there. This is a public process in which we, the citizens,
you can call as many times as you want.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. We got a call coming in. Good morning. You're on the show. What's your question?
Well, don't you think it's kind of odd that the Public Works Director, nowhere to be seen, Patrick Weimer, took the job elsewhere right at a pivotal time when the can that got kicked down the road for a few administrations finally lands in the lap of an interim Public Works Director? What kind of a mess? What kind of poor planning? And how come Patrick Weimer wasn't taken to task after the fact, after he blew town and took a better job elsewhere? What the hell? What is the deal here?
This doesn't fall on Weimiller's lap. It falls on the mayor's lap, doesn't it?
Weimiller was a good soldier. He spoke for the city. He was a city employee. I believe he believed in the plan. I think he was wrong. He omitted a couple of steps in the noticing concept that what they were calling it was wrong. They said they shouldn't have been calling it a ballot. It wasn't a ballot, but the mayor keeps calling it a ballot. It wasn't a ballot. That's a fictitious statement right there.
So I want to get back to the media, though, because the media can shape public opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Now, when the Fresno Bee doesn't even run one story on the Davis story, one word on the Davis story, yet the Sacramento Bee was following it tooth and nail.
Well, I'm not defending the Fresno Bee, and I'm not defending you in any way, shape, or form. I'm not defending anybody, but in all due respect, Sacramento is 10 minutes outside of Davis.
Okay, but like story, like issue,
the Fresno Bee or the Sacramento Bee is part of their coverage.
It's a cut and paste for them. They don't, as their sister paper. And the fact of it is, it's a like issue with a like city in California doing the same thing. Pretty a lot of equations that you'd have. I believe a lot of readership because of the interest in this here. Davis has already done it. You would think it would be a natural to run a couple stories.
I want to mention, too, that Davis is a very small community college town, UC Davis. The whole city revolves around that campus. There's no question. It always has. And it sits about, 10, 12 minutes west of Sacramento along I-80.
Right.
And so it's I'm not going to say it's different. They face the same issues, but Fresno is a much larger city with much bigger financial problems, more so than maybe Davis to a certain extent. I don't know.
Well,
you correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, you're saying all the things that I would argue. They say, first of all, their per capita income is probably double. They don't probably have the financial problems, but yet they voted down their water rate increase. Now, what does that tell you? Yeah. They're well-heeled, and they still didn't like their water rate increase. And they wanted to increase the debt of $100 million there, not $500 million.
But most all of Davis, UC Davis, or the surrounding area, it's all upper middle class.
Absolutely. And why would an upper middle class who could afford water rates repeal them? Good question, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Fresno, which is probably we have probably the highest poverty rate in the United States in certain points in our city, at certain plot points in our community. And yet we want to triple their water rates. Makes sense? Not to me. I think they ought to have an opportunity to vote on whether or not they want to have that much.
So you're saying the fact that there's a little more poverty here, and we have
how about
a lot more than Davis, then why are we raising our water rates?
Well, why aren't we giving the people an opportunity to vote on it? It's a bigger question. Why are we? And that's in the law. That's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's what's damning about this, John.
We'll show you the water rates when we come back here on Connect with Me. 436 MeTV option 11. You do have the chance to call in, but you also have the chance to turn down the sound on your television set before you call in. So we're back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on the show, we got a call coming in. Good morning, you're on the show with Doug Vagim. What's your question, caller?
Yes. Can you tell me exactly what the dollar amount will change to on my water bill?
Well, tomorrow it's going up. So congratulations, your rate isn't going to increase 25% tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow?
Starting tomorrow.
July 1st?
Yes. And it's going to go up from $16.40 to $19. And it's going to go from, $13.30, to $16.40. $13.30 to $16.40 tomorrow. Even if you use zero amount of water, and it's going to go from $1.11 to $1.39 for your consumption for 748 gallons.
How many people knew that? Caller, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Did you know it was going up tomorrow?
Not really, and I didn't really understand. He's talking in terms of units, but as a consumer, I just get billed a certain amount each month. So I still don't have a good idea. If I'm paying $40 last month, how's it going to affect me? Will I be paying $60? He's talking about units. I want to know, is there any lump sum, round figure we can talk about for an average home?
Well, yeah. I mean, are you in the city of Fresno? I'm in
the city of Fresno.
Okay, or you're in the service area, which means you could be in a county island, also be in the service area of the city of Fresno. Your flat rate, if you use no water, is going up from $13.30, another $3.10 to $16.40.
That's a flat rate.
Flat rate. I mean, zero gallons used, just to have the right to have a water standing at your curb.
Okay, let me ask you this: stay on the line there, caller, will you please?
Okay.
So if you use water, will it be even more?
On top of that, there'll be another, let's see, what is that, $1.11 now, it's going up to $1.39, so you're talking about another 25 plus cents per 750 gallons. Not much when you add up, $7.50, heck, I can't drink $7.50, but when you start adding up how much it takes to water your grass, matter of fact, I think I found an article by Andy Souza, a former city manager. It said that he recommended in the middle of the summer you need to have your sprinklers on a total of 63 minutes a week. Okay, multiply that times the water flow.
Let me just ask the caller real quick and we'll let you go. Do you conserve water at your house?
Hello, listen, this is all well and good, but I think you need to have some type of illustration that will explain to people a little quicker how they can compare their water rates, so that when we look at our rates, we can see how much it's going to go up. I don't have the expertise to figure out, per unit how much it's going to go up. But if you tell me if I'm spending $40 this month, it's going to be $60 next month, then I have a better understanding.
Well, he's saying that if you're spending $13 now today on water, tomorrow it's going to go up by $3.
Right, that's the flat rate. But I'm saying I don't want to have to try to figure this out. Just let the consumer know how much more they're going to be paying, and then we can feel better about standing behind this turnaround.
Well,
Okay.
see, it depends on you how much water you do use. That's why I can't come up with any particular figure. I'm trying to give you the ability to figure it out by just saying that it's going to cost you more for your use every time you turn on your faucet, and it's going to cost you more even if you don't turn on your faucet. So
let's put them up on the screen. This is what you're paying now, of course, or last August. So August 2013, $18.38. I hope that caller is looking at the screen right now, because leave that up just for a minute now and describe what this graphic means here.
okay, that's where we started.
That was last year.
That was last year, and the fact that we have a increase by at that time a two-step increase already, and another step is coming in next year. But this is step 2.
And then 2016, in a couple of years, that's what you'll be paying. We have another caller on the line. Go ahead. Keep that graphic up there. Caller, what's your question? Hey, caller, are you there?
Yes.
Go ahead, quickly. What's your question?
I just really wanted to make a quick statement that maybe what they need to do is go around all through the city now and see how many lawns are actually being turned into yellow nothing because they know that the water rates are going up and we can't afford it. And it's not just because of the drought.
I agree. And ma'am, please call your city council and ask them to put this on the ballot so you can air your views, because the people have a right to vote on this, and they are trying to stop us. If more folks will call in and say, put this on the ballot, because we're giving you that opportunity, and we're giving the council the opportunity this coming July to be able to do that.
All right, I want to put those two graphics up one more time. Okay, this is what you're paying last year, August of 2013, $18.38. In 2 years, that's what you'll be paying. So that's kind of that would be like a flat rate, plus on top of that, what water usage you have?
That's correct. The $19 is the next step after this step.
Wow. So no media coverage on the fact that it's going to go up tomorrow?
No media coverage on it's going to go up tomorrow.
Why?
You would think.
Why?
Well, because they know we're here and they don't want to give us any support. They don't want to tell people.
Well, why don't you call Manders and get on Power Talk? Why don't you call the Fresno Bee? Why don't you call?
I have. They got all the information, and I don't want to be. You can only drip on the rock so much. Bill has been excellent. The Bee has been good. They've been giving good coverage. I have a sore spot on the fact that they didn't cover Davis, because I think it's a very good reportable story. It's a very important story. They did something that our city says is illegal. Their legal people said it wasn't illegal, and they let them do it. That right there ought to be a question that should be analyzed by papers like the Bee and others. So
quickly, in the monologue I showed the mayor's state of the city. We haven't even talked about that. We're almost out of time. But in a minute, tell me where we got all this money. $1.something billion for the next fiscal year, Doug. I thought we were broke.
Well, remember, a big part of that is what's in your water bill and sewer bill and everything else. So when that goes up, that increases that amount of money. And the fact of it is, there are $275 million in IOUs to those funds and other funds that they haven't paid back yet. Now, the mayor says she's going to try to pay them back. Well, she's got a long ways to go. $275 million upside down on IOUs to other units of money that either have to be paid back or they have an obligation to do a task that money came for originally.
Right. She also says she's going to veto 3 council amendments that would add about $600,000 to the spending plan for the next fiscal year. Doug, out of time. You're back on July 18th, by the way, on this show. Yeah. Mark Standrift of the city is going to be here the day before. Tomorrow we start Connect with Me at 10 a.m. live in the morning here on Comcast Channel 187. 43.6 will be a 1-hour show live starting tomorrow. Back again tomorrow with a great edition of Connect with Me. Have a great day.
Like me?
Just like me.
Like MeTV Fresno on Facebook. Get the latest news, interact with others, watch videos, become a fan of me. Exclusively brought to you by Ventura TV.
You ready, Bo? Let's go. Dr. Shields, activated, Mr. Sulu. Automatic, sir.
And we're pushing to the limit.
Situation critical.
Base of action.
Can't break loose.
Peace or utter destruction. It's up to you.
Star Trek, Saturdays at 9, 8 Central on MeTV. Brought to you by Ventura TV.